Hey guys, if you ever want to replace your old garage door opener like this one to a new style with a lot more smart features, stay with me in this video. I'm going to show you guys how you can do it all by yourself. No need to worry, your boy got you covered. Let's get at it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Deanin It Yourself. If it's your first time here, welcome. And for all my longtime subscribers, you guys know the drill. Today, I got another easy DIY video for you guys. I got my old garage door opener here. It's finally gone on me. The board went bad again. If you haven't seen my video on how to replace one of these boards, you can check it out if that's the route that you want to go. In any case, I decided to go with a new garage door opener. It's about time. We've had this thing for a while, and I decided to bite the bullet and go ahead and replace it. So, in this video, what you guys can expect is I'm going to walk you guys through the process of installing this new garage door opener. I'm going to talk to you guys about the garage door opener that I chose, why I chose it, and I'm going to go through the step-by-step process of removing the old one and installing a new one. So, if that's something you guys think you're up to tackle, let's do it. I'm going to show you guys how you can do it definitely by yourself, needing only a few tools, and you can get this thing done if you have some time, an hour, maybe two, depending on how skillful you are. But without further ado, let me talk to you guys about the steps and what you guys can expect. So first things first, the garage door opener that I chose was the B4603T made by Chamberlain. And this garage door opener is powered by the MyQ technology, which will allow me to operate this thing from anywhere in the world, open, close, and depending on the model that you choose, you can also monitor what's going on in your garage. But I'll talk to you more about that later on. The package that is contained in this box has everything that you can possibly need. It comes with 2 remote controls, the sensors for the door, a fixed button to open and close, and it comes with a wireless keypad, along with all the belts and pulleys and the motor that's needed for your garage door. So this kit has everything that you need, and all you need to do is pick one of these things up, and by purchasing it, you'll have everything you need to change your garage door opener. First things first, as usual, I'm going to leave links in the description to all the products that I have here and products that may be specific to what you need. So don't worry about it. Follow the tutorial, and whatever you need will be linked below. The first step is you want to identify what horsepower is your old motor. The easiest way to do it is look on your old motor. Chances are on the side it's going to be labeled. You want to pick up one that matches or exceeds your motor. Just because you want the motor to do less work and not strain to lift your door. All right, so my case was a 3rd horsepower, which actually on this door it should have been a 1/2 horsepower because I have a double door. I guess when the builders built this, they just stuck one in there, and it's been working so far. But actually in my case, I went with a 3/4 horsepower belt drive. Again, the choice is yours. Once you've figured out which one you want, the next thing you want to do is you want to close your garage door, and you want to measure it. These kits come ready to install for 7-foot doors, and that's why you want to measure it. So you measure your door from the highest point to the ground, and if it's 7 feet, you're good. If it's 8 feet, 9 feet, 10 feet, they sell kits, which I'll link below, which are an extended arm and a new belt that's going to adjust for the height of the door that you have. So now you have your garage door opener, you have the extension kits. If you need it, all you need to do now is grab a set of sockets and a screwdriver and a ladder, and you should be able to get this thing installed in no time. All right, the first thing you want to do once your door is closed is you want to disconnect the power from your garage door, whether it's by a breaker if you have one, or if it's just plugged into the ceiling, just unplug it. Once you've done this, the next thing you want to do is release the safety latch from your door and move your door up and down by hand. The reason why you want to do this is you want to make sure that the door moves up and down freely and that the springs are good. Once you know that you're good to go, the next thing you want to do is you can go ahead and start loosening the bolts that are holding your garage door opener to the bracket. Take your time. You don't have to take them all the way out. Just loosen them for the time being, and disconnect all the wires that are connected to the motor itself. If you're not sure what wire goes where, now is the time. Label them or put them to the side where you can remember. There should be 2 sets of wires if you have a button. There's one that's coming from the button, and the other set of wires are going to the sensors that are on your door. All right, so know which ones go where, put them aside, mark them, and once you're done disconnecting all the wires, you're almost done. The next thing you want to do is lower your garage door opener, once it's disconnected, onto something or using somebody to help you to hold it, which would be even better. But if not, you can use a ladder, rest it on the ladder. The next thing you want to do is you want to go by the door and you want to disconnect the bracket that's on the door. Now, some of them have a pin, some of them are held in by bolts, depending on which style you have. But whatever you do, loosen it. If it's a pin, pull out the pin and take it out. And that way you're disconnected completely from the wall. The next thing you want to do is you want to slowly lower it to the ground. And once you've got it off the ceiling, you're pretty much done. The old one is out the way. You can either chuck it or save it for spare parts or sell it on eBay, whatever you want to do. You're done with half of the project. The next step is we're going to start by assembling the rail. Yeah, so the rail assembly is pretty easy. All you're really doing is just assembling them and sliding them one piece into the next. And once you're done assembling everything, you're going to be left with the end piece, which connects to your door. The only thing you're going to know is that at the end, you're going to have an open piece like this. And what you want to do is make sure that this end, this open end, is towards the door. If your door is 8 feet, you're going to replace this with the one that came from your kit. Or if it's 9 feet or 10 feet, whichever kit you got, this is the only piece you're going to replace. All right, and once that's ready, you just go ahead, slide it in, and it should snap in place like that. Next thing we want to do is we want to place our motor down on something to support it. All right, let's go ahead and start assembling the track. You're going to have this piece here that is going to slide up and down to move your door. So what you want to do is first you want to take a screwdriver, and if you look along here, you're going to see holes. You're going to count 1, 2. Your second hole, you're going to drop a screwdriver in, and then you're going to slide this piece on with the clip here facing towards the motor. So just slide it on and it will slide and stop right there. The next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and install the piece that mounts to our motor. And all it is a bracket that's going to go here in these 2 holes. So what we want to do first is slide it into our bracket. And this may take a little work, but you just got to push it in. Once it's in, we're good to go. The next step would be to remove these 2 screws here and screw our bracket onto the motor. Now we just loosen these screws. One thing we need to know is that you want to try and use a socket set so you don't over tighten these screws. Try not to use a power drill or an impact gun or anything like that. These things don't need to be on super tight. You just need to be able to catch them. So let's drop the first one in. Start it by hand, and if you need to adjust your motor, you can just twist it till the holes line up. Once they line up, go ahead and tighten your screws back down. Now these don't have to be super tight, you just need to snug it. Once they're snug, we're good to go. The next step is to insert this bolt that we have here, and this is to stop the rail from sliding and traveling too far to hit the motor. All it is a bolt like this with a nut that has a washer attached to it like this. You drop your bolt in, thread it on, and tighten it up. Again, make sure you don't over tighten these things. You just want to get it snug, and that's about it. All right, once it's tight, you're good to go. And again, that will stop the rail from traveling too far. Now that you have this in place, we can go ahead and put the belt on. Let me show you what you got to do next. All right, now in order to run your belt, what you want to do is go down to the end that's closest to your door, and you'll notice that you have a slot and a hole here on both sides. You want to take your belt that looks like this and make sure that the ridges are facing on the inside, and this slot here is pointed down, and you want to slide it through the hole here just like this. Next, you want to get your pulley and you want to take the tape off, and next you want to slide your pulley in, wrap your belt around it so that the pulley lines up with the hole right here. Next, we want to take our bolt, it's going to look like this, and drop it in through our pulley, just like that. And on the end of it, you're going to lock it up with a lock nut, a lock washer, and a nut. Once again, you just want to tighten these snugly. You don't want to over tighten it. The pulley should be able to move freely and spin without a problem. And as you can see, your pulley moves freely here, just like this. and you're good to go. The last step is one of the most important steps. If you notice here, a little tab, what we want to do is you want to get a screwdriver, put it in and pry it so this thing bends up 90 degrees. And the reason why we bend this up 90 degrees is so that when the trolley slides down, it doesn't go too far past this point. And once we have the tab bent up, we can go ahead and wrap this thing up, tighten up our belt, and we'll be ready to put this thing up in no time. Now, in order to attach the belt, if you notice on one side of the trolley, there's a tab. You want to hook the metal hook that's on the belt into this tab. And next we want to route the cable around the sprocket as tightly as possible. And the included bolt with the spring attached to it, you can take the spring and unthread it from the bolt. And then we're going to slide the bolt through the hole on the trolley and align the holes for the chain coupler. Now, in order to couple these two together, what you want to do is you want to insert the coupler in the hole on the rod as well as the hole at the end of the belt. Once you have the coupler installed, the next thing you want to do is you're going to put the, I guess you could call it the coupler washer on the back side, and then we're going to lock it in place with a retention clip. The final step is to adjust the tension in the belt. Since you've already routed the belt as tight as possible, all we need to do is you want to thread the spring onto the bolt, and you want to tighten this by hand to remove any slack from the belt. Get it as tight as you can by hand, and then the final step would be to release the tension in the spring to pull the belt tightly. Now, in order to do this, you're going to use a 1/2-inch wrench and a screwdriver. And by inserting the screwdriver into one of the slots on the washer on one side, you can hold it in place while using the 1/2-inch wrench to twist the nut, and it will release the tension in the spring and as a result, tighten the belt. Now, you can adjust this a little bit. I wouldn't adjust it too much in the beginning, but you can adjust this nut by slowly turning it with the 1/2-inch wrench if you need to pick up any extra slack in the belt. The last thing we want to do is we want to put on the protective cap for our sprocket. And all we need to do are loosen these 3 screws here, put this on, replace the screws. Once you have the screws out, drop the cap on and just tighten the screws back in. Again, hand tight is all you want. And that's it. Once that's on, we're pretty much done with this. Now let's go and mount this thing back on the wall and we should be good to go. If your bracket is the same as the header bracket on your old door, then you can just reuse it. But if not, you're going to have to replace the bracket with the included header bracket. In my case, my original bracket was wider, so I had to replace the bracket. But this is simple as removing the old bracket. If you want, you can mark where the holes were and then just drive it back in. Just make sure that it's level, put it with some screws, and you should be good to go. Once you have the header in place, you can just slide the rail into the bracket and reinstall the bolt and the locking pin. Now we can just go ahead and raise the motor and fasten it with the bolts that are included in the kit and reconnect it to the existing bracket that you had hanging from the ceiling. And the last step is to reconnect the release arm by using the locking pin and reinstalling it into the trolley. So in some cases, the bracket may be the same, but you may have to replace yours, but this is pretty simple to install. It's just a piece that attaches to your garage door, an angled piece like you see here, and then it's just connected with 2 bolts, and then you just align it with the holes in your trolley and slide in the locking pin, and that's about it. In my case, I was able to reuse the existing bracket, so it saved me a little bit of time. Once you have the release arm installed, the last thing is to install the pull cable. All you need to do is insert the cable through the hole in the trolley and just tighten a nut, and that's about it. Make sure that it's secure. All right, now let's talk about door sensors. If you have existing door sensors and you want to reuse them and you've already connected them to your motor, you're good to go. You don't have to hook up new door sensors. They'll work with the existing motor. You just have to make sure that they work. And I'm assuming if you tested your garage door, moved it up and down, you know that the sensors are good to go. If you want to replace them, however, you have a couple options. If you notice here, this one has a wing nut. It's already on a bracket. They also send new door sensors. They look like this. And on the back side, they have a hole here with a hex head that's set to receive a bolt that goes through like this. If you want to use the new sensors, all you need to do is loosen this wing nut and slide the bolt through the hole here. And then all you need to do is tighten it down with the provided wing nut. And if you notice here, you have cable just like this. What you want to do is cut this cable here and use some wire nuts, strip them off, and just connect the ends and tape it up. That's if you want to reuse the existing. If you want to change your bracket and you're running new wires, all you really need to do, these brackets just clip on here. Take a screwdriver, pry this up, the whole bracket will pop off. You'll get a brand new bracket. This looks just like the old one. You'll do the same thing. You'll slide it on. What I do suggest is I would measure from the ground to the bottom of the bracket, mark it at 4 inches so that you know where this bracket will fall. The bracket can be mounted anywhere from 4 to 6 inches, or sorry, anywhere from 2 to 6 inches. I would keep it at about 5 inches, so I would mark 4 inches from the floor, and then I would mount my bracket, and you just slide it around and put it on the track and press it in, and it will just clip on and your bracket will be held in place. And then you would just slide the sensor back here, drop the screw through, line it up just like this, and tighten it on with the provided wing nut. And once you have it tightened, you can adjust this up and down. Now what I would suggest is just set it as level as possible, and once you turn your garage door open, you'll see a light on here, and if there is a light, then you know that the sensors are facing each other. If there's no light, then you just adjust them a little bit until the light stays red. All right, they've also included staples, so if you want to route your cables up along the side of your garage door here, you have staples. You can fix it and knock it in with a hammer or whatever you need, but they do provide staples. All right, once you have your garage door sensors in, you're pretty much good to go and you're done with this section. Because I'm not installing my new sensors, I'm going to save these brackets and the sensors. I would suggest you do the same if you're not using the ones provided, and just keep it. Just in case your old sensors go bad, you have new sensors you can replace them with, and you don't have to go out and go searching to try and buy new sensors. If you guys are reusing the existing door sensors, we can go ahead and reconnect the wires. You're going to want to remember from how you disconnected them to connect them back here. But if you forget, the red terminal is the red and white here are going to be for your garage door opener, the button on the wall if you have one. So in my case I do, so I'm going to connect one side to the red and one side to the white. The other two, the white and the gray, or the white and the black, depends on what yours is, are going to be for your door sensors. So the black and the white, you're going to have 2 wires with black with white stripe. You can connect those together, plug them here, and then you'll have 2 wires that are just plain white, and you just connect them here. All right, if that's the case, just wire them up here and then you're good to go. If you guys have an old manual style button and you want to upgrade it, this kit has one. The kit comes with a button that has a cool feature that has the learn button integrated into it, so you don't have to climb up and press the learn button on your motor. The installation of this is super easy. All you need to do is remove your old button, remove all the screws that hold it in place, and there should be the red and white wires that are there. The button comes labeled with a R and a W, red to R and W to white. And the installation of the wires are easy. Wrap it around the screws, tighten the screws, and you should be good to go. To install the button, it's pretty easy. You want to install the bottom screw into your box or your wall first. Slide the garage door opener button onto the screw, and then line it up straight and secure the top screw to lock it in place. Once everything is good to go, we can go ahead and plug our garage door back in. Now that we have everything ready, we can go ahead and start programming. First thing we want to do is go ahead and hold down our program button. The up button is going to flash. You're going to go ahead and press it. You hold it down until you get the garage door to where you want it. Once the garage door is in the position that you want it to, next you go ahead and press the programming button again. It's going to blink twice, and now you're going to set the down position of the door. Again, you just go ahead, hold it down. until the door reaches the position that you want it to do. Once it's in the downward position, next thing you can do is go ahead and press the program button again. It's going to blink twice and it's going to run through a series of tests. Once you press the program button again, the garage door is going to go through a sequence of lights and it's going to go through some blinks and it's going to raise and lower the door at least once or twice just to go through the calibration process. Once the process is done, you are complete. Your door travel is now programmed and you're ready to use the garage door. Final step is to install our keypad. Now, if you have an existing keypad, you can program it to your garage door opener. If you want to check my video on how to program these, check it out. There should be a link in the description where you can learn to program your garage door opener. If you have an old one, you want to change it to the new one, no big deal. Just remove the old one. In my case here, there's a screw here and a screw here. This screw covers the battery. You need to remove this screw and remove this screw. Usually these keypads have two screws and one is hidden behind the battery compartment. So all you really need to do is remove the screw covering your battery. Take it out and you'll see there's a screw here. Take it out and now your old keypad is off the wall. Now Chamberlain provides in the kit a new keypad and this keypad is pretty easy. It has a slot on the back here. So you'll put a screw in, whether you have wood, concrete, whatever it is, put an insert if you have concrete and leave the screw head sticking out, slide it so it balances on here. And then you want to open your keypad. This one comes with a battery, but you don't need to worry. The way they designed it, the hole below here is where you find your next screw. So what you would do is hook it on, line it up, make sure it's level, drill a hole. Or if you have wood, you can just drive the screw right in. If you have block, you need to mark it. If you have concrete, you're going to need to mark the hole, remove it, drill a new hole, and then you'll be able to hang your keypad. Once everything is done, your keypad is installed, then you can go ahead and install the cover for your battery. The final step in the garage door installation is programming any buttons and remotes that you guys have. Now this comes with two remotes like this that are capable of controlling 3 doors. So if you have this, the programming setup is simple. You have 2 options. Your first option, if you have this keypad, is there's a learn button inside here. All you need to do is either press this learn button or you're going to press the learn button on your garage door opener itself. And once the light is on, you're going to go ahead and hold down the button. And it's as simple as that. Once you're done with that, the garage should start to close and you're done with the programming. Now repeat the step if you have another garage door opener like this that you want to program. Now installing these things are pretty easy and pretty cool. Chamberlain made it super easy. You have 2 options. If you can either program it from the learn button on your garage door, or you can program it from the learn button on your multifunction button if you have one or you purchased one and you installed one. If you're going to program it from your garage door, you just need to press the learn button once, the light will come on. Or if you're going to use the multifunction button, you're going to press the learn button once and then you're going to press it again. Once you press it twice, then you'll come back to your keypad. You have 30 seconds to do it, whichever method you choose. Once you're back at your keypad, you're going to go ahead and put in your garage door code. Once you're done putting in the code, you're going to hold down the enter button. And the garage door should start closing. All right, and with that, you got your keypad programmed and you're good to go. All right, guys, welcome back. That wasn't too bad. Hope you guys had a good time, followed along, and hope you guys got your garage door installed. Well, now that we're done with the garage door and everything tests out, you got your keypad installed, you got your manual button installed on the wall, the travel of your door is fixed up and down, you got everything working, you're pretty much done. The last step now, which is the best feature that these garage doors have, is that they're integrated with MyQ. Now the final setup of this is pretty straightforward. All you need to do is download the app and it's going to walk you through a setup process where you're going to have to select the garage door opener that you've selected and you're going to have to pair it with your Wi-Fi, go through the steps and get it connected to the internet. Once everything is done, you'll be able to access your garage door from your mobile phone or any device by just downloading the MyQ app. And once you got this thing configured, you can open your garage door from anywhere in the world, configure it where you can set up PIN codes to guests, do whatever you want. And it also has the capability of integrating with your Amazon. So if you guys want to have your packages delivered inside your garage and not have to worry about them being left out on the patio or on your porch, whatever, this allows you to have that feature. All right, with that said, thank you guys. I hope you had a good time with me following along. And all you need to do really and truly is follow these steps. It's not that hard. If you, with just a little bit of patience, you can get this thing done. It's all about dismantling it, taking out the old one, and just taking your time and getting the tension right on your belt, putting it back up, and the motor does the work by itself. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget, hit that like button. That helps the channel out a lot. I've already crossed 50,000 subscribers, and I'm hoping to go more. Thank you guys so much for the support, and until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video.